welcome back to our Engineering Chalu YouTube channel. In the previous section, we have seen historical perspective, file system versus DBMS, and data models. Now, in this class, we are going to cover levels of abstraction in database management system. What is mean by levels of abstraction? We are going to see. So just see what is first of all, before knowing the levels of abstraction, we need to know what is meant by abstraction. So what is meant by abstraction? Abstraction is nothing but a hiding of internal details. For example, if a user when for example, I'm the person wanted to log in into the Facebook. So I should not know. I mean, I need not to know what languages are used to develop that login screen. What type of database they used, where my data is stored. I don't need basically, I don't need such type of information, right? So I only need the login screen, how we are going, I mean, what name we are in, which format we are going to enter our name, what mail ID I'm using, basically, right? So abstraction is nothing but hiding the internal, it means irrelevant information from the user, sir. That is basically means by abstraction. So how this abstraction plays an important role in the database management system. So coming to the topic, database management system basically consisting of large volumes of data. We need to manage that. So when we are managing that information, it is complex to usability and complex to retrieve the information, when each and every information need to be known to the user. So to reduce that accessing time, means terms of retrieval, I mean retrieval data, to reduce that retrieval data complexity and reduce the complexity of usability, means for example, if we need, I mean, if we are getting, for example, I have searched for food items, then it's showing some other food ingredients also. This is unnecessary information, I don't need such type of information. If it is giving unnecessary information also, it is complicated to use it, right? So to reduce that also, the developers use abstraction concept, that means hiding the irrelevant details from the user, right? I think you got it, how the abstraction plays an important role in the database, how these both are interlinked. So coming to the levels of abstraction. So levels of abstraction consisting of mainly three levels. And one more thing, for example, in the exam, if they ask about explain the levels of abstraction, data instance and database schemas, means you need to draw the common diagram here itself. So in this diagram, you will be getting more and more information. I request all you to draw the same diagram, because see, in this diagram we are going to get lot of information. Uh, Correction is a person ki within 1 hour he need to analyze your whole paper, means it is complicated to read each and every point of your answer, right? He won't read it basically. If that answer consisting of in a diagram, then he mainly concentrates on diagram. So I request all you to give as much as information within the diagram itself. Okay, you write again, you explain those points in the theory, it's not a problem, but I request all you to give the more lot of information in the diagram itself. So coming to the diagram, the levels of abstraction consisting of three types. First one is internal level or physical level, I mean physical level, logical level, and view level. Okay. So let's go dive deep into the each and every levels. So see, physical level is nothing but it is a first, I mean, internal layer. First internal layer. It is also known as internal level. Okay, as of it's an internal layer, it is known as internal level. And one more thing, it defines, this layer defines how data is actually stored in the database. Database లో data అనేది ఎలా స్టోర్ అయ్యింది, how the way in which the data is stored in the database, అంటే tables format లో స్టోర్ అయిందా, or else which type of structure, means architecture, etlante architecture, what type of architecture they used. So how actually stored that information is going, or that information we are going to get at this level. It defines methods to access the data in the database. It defines complex data structures in detail. It also defines the data structures in detail also. Okay, so it is very complex to understand, which is why it is kept hidden from the user. So basically, in physical level and conceptual level, I mean logical level, these both are hidden to the user cannot see what exactly happening here. So big doubt about you, as of we are a developers, so we need to know about this. But for example, a business person, a investor need not to know about these levels, they just basically use this view levels. Okay, so the physical level is hidden from the user because it has a complex data structures in detail. It defines a detailed complex data structures. Okay, these 3 points are the main. The lowest level, In the database, it is also known as internal level, and it actually stores the database, and it defines the method to access the database. Okay, and coming to the next level. So logical level, by the name itself, we can say that it is a internal, I mean, middle layer. So logical or concept, it is also known as conceptual level. In this I mean, this is the intermediate or next level to the data abstraction. So we can, in the data abstraction law, it's the second layer. So you can basically state that it's the second layer of the uh, data abstraction. And here you can see the logical level defines the database administration. So what is my database administration? Here we see it explains how what data is going to be stored in the database and what the relationship is between them. What type of data? ఎట్లాంటి data store అయ్యింది, it specifies data. Okay, what type of data it basically stores. And next one is the logical level. It also specifies, it describes the structure of the entire data in the form of tables. So it gives the information. It what will say? It explains it. It analyzes it. What in the form of tables. అంటే అది మనకి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తుంది, డిస్క్రైబ్ చేస్తుంది. ఎట్లా డిస్క్రైబ్ చేస్తుంది? టేబుల్ ఫార్మాట్స్ లో డిస్క్రైబ్ చేస్తుంది ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అనేది. సో లాజికల్ లెవెల్ ఆర్ కాన్సెప్షువల్ లెవెల్స్ ఈస్ లెస్ కాంప్లెక్స్ దాన్ ద ఫిజికల్ లెవెల్. విత్ ది హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ అ లాజికల్ లెవెల్, డేటా అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్ abstract data from raw data present at the physical level. Obviously, has a in the physical level, it's the data is completely the raw format, and it is complex to understand. But whereas at the conceptual level, if we use some logical means logical concepts to understand, to make it easy to understand the data. Okay, and coming, and this levels also is hidden. Sometimes it's hidden to the user. Okay, so what is my next level is view level. That is user or programmer view in a consulted sorry constellation with the data administration. Okay, let's see what does it exactly means. View or external view level is also known as external level, has been mentioned here. Next one is view or external level is the highest level of the data abstraction. Obviously, at the top level, but it is the highest level. Next, there are different views at this level that defines the parts of the overall database. It defines and the overall database parts. It defines. See here, you can see view 1, view 2, view 3, mean different views, different applications we use to access is common data. Okay, this level is for end user interaction. At this level, end users can access data or their queries. Obviously, for example, here we can say it as a example of view level is nothing but applications, any type of applications. For example, Google. We sometimes use the application from the computer, from the laptop, or from the tab, or from the iPad, or from the mobile phone. Like that. Different application, different same application, but different views. The viewing is different, right? So such that. And from while using your applications, for example, we are using Zomato, then we need not to know how Zomato is developed, and from how food is prepared. We do not know that all everything. Just we need to know how to order food. We'll order. So it hides that internal data. Okay. So these are three levels of the data abstraction. And I am once again I'm saying, if they ask about data instance and data schema, also same diagram you need to draw. I think before once you see the diagram, you can understand this. Okay. So coming to the advantages and disadvantages of data abstraction. What are the advantages? Simplified complex system. Obviously, why we have developed this concept? ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎందుకు డెవలప్ చేసాము? టు టు సింప్లిఫై ది కాంప్లెక్స్ యూజబిలిటీ and retrieval data. So obviously it is to reduce the complexity, right? So simplified complex systems. That's it. Enhance security. Obviously, when we are making it more and more flexible, then we need to then it is easy to develop the security, right? For example, ఇప్పుడు 1,000 people's between 1,000 people's మధ్యన security అనేది చాలా తక్కువ, I mean తక్కువ ఉంటుంది. But when compared to if we make 1,000 people from block, we'll divide them. That is easy to maintain security, easy to maintain secrets, right? So that's why we have enhanced security. And next one, increase productivity. Obviously, when the way we using, I mean the implementation is simple, then the productivity is large because we can easy to understand it. Okay, improved maintenance. Obviously, thousand of for example, 1,000 people maintenance is complicated. When for example, if we make them a level wise, a batch wise, then it's easy to maintain them. Okay, facilities modular design, so it is also easy to design new databases, new technologies. Data independency, so that is nothing but the changes in this level does not make changes in this level. Okay, and this data independency concept you are going to dive deep into the next two topics, after two topics. Okay, next, easy adaptation to evolve requirements. Adaptation is about, it can be easy to adapt to any environment. For example, uh, softwares, for example, see, right now I'm using my in my laptop I'm using Windows operating system, Android operating system, mobile phones Android operating system, in computers we are going to use Windows operating system. So if operating systems also differ, it does not make any changes, right? It can be easily adapted. That's nothing but adaptation, easy adaptation. Any environments, reduce complexity of end users. Obviously, for our for using the users, it is easy to understand, so it reduce the complexity for the users. ఇప్పుడు ఒక అప్లికేషన్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారు, మీకు చాలా కాంప్లికేటెడ్ ఉంది అర్థం చేసుకోవాలన్నప్పుడు, వాట్ ఇస్ ద యూజ్ ఆఫ్ దట్ యూజింగ్ దట్ అప్లికేషన్, రైట్? సో ఇన్ దిస్ వే, using this methodology, it is easy for the user to understand, reduce the complexity for the user. Okay, so coming to the disadvantages. Disadvantage is nothing but potential performance overhead. So performance, sometimes it is complicated. Where the data is large, it is little bit complicated to maintain the performance. Okay, next one is learning curve. It is one of the disadvantages. Learning curve means the measure, the target, the measuring of exact output we are going to get. We are getting an exact target or not. So in that cases we use learning curve. So possibility of information hiding. So possibility of information hiding means, if the, for example, let's think, if the data, if the database means, if the data we are going to hide is larger, then it's not it makes complicated to hide each and every information. So it will, we can hide as much as we can hide, only at least 90% of data. We cannot hide 100% of data. 1000 people's లో సీక్రెట్ అనేది అట్లీస్ట్ ఎంత ట్రై చేసినా అట్లీస్ట్ ఒక 10 to 20% పీపుల్ గా లీక్ అవుతుంది, రైట్? సో ఇన్ దాట్ కేసెస్, the possibility of information, the possibility of information hiding may be different, okay, based on that applications. సో కాంప్లెక్సిటీ ఆఫ్ అబ్స్ట్రాక్షన్ డిజైన్. అబ్స్ట్రాక్షన్ డిజైన్ అంటే హైడింగ్, డేటా హైడ్ చేయడానికి కావాల్సిన ఆర్కిటెక్చర్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, సో దట్స్ కాల్డ్ abstraction design. Okay, for example, if Google, let's take Google. So the architecture, the data abstraction architecture of Google is complicated, because basically there are crores of people who are using Google, so the information increases day by day. So to maintain that information is complicated. So sometimes when the data is more complex, I mean the volume of data is large, then it is complex to design the abstraction design. Okay, so abstraction leaks. Sometimes the abstraction leaks means, for example, మన బెస్ట్ ఫ్రెండ్ ఉంది 1000 people's లో, ఎంత ట్రై చేద్దామన్నా somewhat leak అవుతుంది, they'll give hints, right? So in that way, data leaks means how much complicated we are going to develop. ఎంత కాంప్లికేటెడ్ మనము అప్లికేషన్స్ డెవలప్ చేసినా స్టిల్ సమ్ లీకేజెస్ విల్ బి దేర్ వేర్ ద డేటా గెట్స్ లీక్డ్. అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, let's see that any application, how much security they can give, but still any one authorized person, any one hacker will hack the data. There is a chance, right? 5% chance or 1% chance. Okay, that is a potential for abstraction leaks. Difficulty in troubleshooting. Obviously, when the problem exists, when the problem came, it is difficult to identify. It is difficult to identify and it is difficult to solve that problem. That is nothing but difficulty in troubleshooting. Okay, overhead in resource composition. So it requires lots of resources. As of levels increases, though it requires a lot of resources to develop it. So this is for today's class levels of abstraction. I think you got clear idea what is my levels of abstraction, and the diagram for instance schema, data schema, this is the same diagram. So I request you to do watch the previous videos also, and if you have any doubts, please do comment. And I'll request all you to please do like, share, and comment to our YouTube channel, Engineering Chadu. Thank you. Have a nice day.